Hey guys, Nigel here. Today I want to have a quick chat with you about time, about playing in time. Do you ever struggle with that? Do you ever struggle like playing along with the metronome or with the backing track and staying together? It's something that nearly all of us need to work on. This week though in Sax School I recorded a lesson with a brilliant saxophone player, Nigel Hitchcock. I mean, this guy is a legend. I love listening to him in Itchy Fingers, but he's also played on like loads of amazing albums, toured with Mark Knopfler, recorded with everybody you could think of, and his new sax quartet Q4 is mental. Actually, come and have a look at this. Come on. Yeah, that's him there. That's Nigel Hitchcock and Tini Thomsen. This is the Q4 quartet, his new saxophone quartet. Check this out. This is amazing. Okay, so it's fair to say these guys know a thing or two about playing in time. So we recorded the guest session for Sax School. By the way, if you've not heard of Sax School before, that's what I do. I run Sax School, which is an online membership community for learning saxophone. We've got thousands and thousands of people all around the world that use my lessons and mini courses and master classes to really develop their skills for getting started or learning improvising or learning to play the blues. It's super cool. If you want to check it out, there's a link below where you can have a look into it further. But one of the things that we do each month is a guest session with a famous saxophone player like Nigel. And in this session, we talked about time and how Nigel approaches time and what he does to improve it. Check this out. This is what he had to say.
But everybody's time is fractionally different, which is why you can listen to 1,000 drummers and they don't sound the same. They all sound like themselves because everyone's time is for milliseconds different as to where they place each note. So when you get four guys, even if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, everyone's concept from the next 5 minutes of music is slightly different. So, and it's all based on where we're all placing each note. We're all bouncing off it all the time. So it's a constant readjustment in the mind going on.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, the video quality is pretty rubbish if I'm honest, but what he's saying is amazing. So focusing on that. For somebody that's just developing their sense of time, do you have any things that you found that helped you to really fine-tune that?
I mean, really, I come from I listen to all sorts of jazz. I love all sorts of jazz, everything from Charlie Parker onwards. But really, I consider myself a funk player. And so for me, it's all about hanging in with the drums and having a great drummer in your head. And the only way you get a great drummer in your head is by living with a few, you know. And I mean, listening to hours of Tower of Power and James Brown and Stevie Wonder and, you know, the funk, getting the funk and having good funk time in your head, you know. I'm also very fortunate to have had an experience of playing on lots of albums with great drummers and playing in horn sections where the time is the primary thing. It's not about the improvisation. It's about playing on the second beat of the bar. Just going 1, 2, 3, 4, ow! You know, and three guys, all their tongues hitting their instruments at the same time. The trumpet, the trombone, tenor, pow! And it's the weight of it is more than the three of you. When three people hit the note at exactly the same time, it has the power of 5 musicians. When one of you misses it, it sounds like one. It's an art. So I learnt my time over years. You know, it's not something. And actually, I wasn't blessed with time straight away. I always kind of got notes and harmony, but time was something that I learnt as I became a more developed musician. And it is about playing with great drummers and playing with tracks and playing with clicks, playing with metronomes, you know, all of those things.
And being aware of it, I suppose, and working on it in everything that you play.
Well, that's right. A lot of people are conscious about their time when they're being told to be conscious about their time. And then you count them in on the gig and they just run away with it, or they drag, or they're just in their own world, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas actually what you need to be listening to and focusing in on is the drums, you know. For me, in a band, it's the drums.
Right.
So the interesting thing about the saxophone quartet is we haven't got any drums. Who's the drummer? Well, we're all the drummer now, you know. So, and actually I treat it like the baritone is really your bass drum, you know. So if Tini hits a downbeat, that's where it is. That's where we take the time, you know. And Tini's got the best time out of all of us, really. So we can rely on that, thankfully.
Yeah, so I guess it's the same as, if you were playing with the Count Basie Orchestra, or if you're like doing a Tower Power gig, or or playing a sax quartet, it's still the same. You're listening internally. Well, you're listening to the drummer.
Yes.
You're listening to internally to the ensemble as well, and taking the time, working on the time
Yes.
collectively, or looking for a collectively to a point where you are all focusing on. So, for your example, it's a
Yes.
bari sax player, or in the band it'd be the drummer, but you got to have that same focus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes when things are written, I mean, on saxophone quartet, sometimes we have parts that are written across each other in strange rhythms. And so then it's hard to just kind of focus on a single time in your head. You actually have to kind of know what this other person's going to play. And that's where rehearsal comes in, you know. We're taking it off of each other's lines. So then it has a fluidity about it. It's not like everyone's regimented, stuck to their version of time. We're taking it from each other all the time. So, but again, it's about concentration, to be able to listen to what other people are doing and play what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, and there are a lot of great musicians that don't always listen in that way. A saxophone quartet, you just got to listen. You've got to be all ears. You know.
You don't have an option, do you? I think it's a team effort.
Yeah, absolutely, team effort.
I love the fact that even though Nigel's this super experienced guy that's done all this amazing work, he's still thinking about the time, and he's really concentrating on getting the time right every single time he plays. Obviously with a saxophone quartet, but in anything, in a horn section, on a jazz gig, anything. And these are things that we can all take as inspiration in our own playing. We need to really be thinking about time all the time, not just on the occasion when we get the metronome out in our practicing. We need to always be thinking about the time and listening for that beat and keeping ourselves accurate. So make sure you're using a metronome every single time you're practicing. Make sure you're using backing tracks if you're practicing by yourself, and really listen into the different parts of that backing track. What's the drummer doing? What's the bass doing? Are you playing in time? A great tip, by the way, along with this, is to try singing along with the backing track before you even start playing, so you've got more time to really hear what's going on. And then, of course, when you are out playing in a band or in a ensemble like a concert band or a brass band, or if you're playing in a horn section, then you really need to listen to all the other instruments in your ensemble as well. Where is the beat? Are you all working together? Is everything really, really accurate? So important. Hey, if you want to dig into rhythm a bit more and get some great resources to help you, we've got a fantastic mini course inside Sax School in the members area called the Rhythm Skills Workout, where we actually dig into a bunch of complicated rhythms, but the rhythms that you're going to see all the time in your general saxophone playing, and we give you a load of exercises that you can actually use to develop your rhythm and sense of time so that you can conquer those rhythms and be a lot more comfortable and confident with them. So that's inside Sax School. Don't forget, if you want to get started with membership, join the thousands of people that are using Sax School every day and find out what it's all about. I know you're going to love it. It's the coolest place ever for learning saxophone, and we've got a mental community of players from all around the world where people are sharing ideas and getting support, and even getting together and making recordings together and doing performances together and all sorts of stuff. It's absolutely mental. That's all in Sax School, and there's a link below where you can get started at mcgillmusic.com. Also, don't forget, if you're new here, I'm making videos like this all the time. If you enjoyed it today, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when the next one's coming on, and click that bell icon too, so you'll get a notification. Right, that's it. Go practice your rhythm. Go practice your sense of time. Have an awesome rest of your week. Keep practicing hard, and I'll catch you next time.